In this chapter, we are going to discover another convenient, flexible, and efficient tool to present dynamic content, Collection View. It's represented by UI Collection View class and incorporates a set of sub-elements that allows to display items or cells in the form of a grid. The direct sub-elements of a collection view are header, footer, and cells, or they're called items in context of collection view. Cells can be grouped in sections. Sounds familiar? Those definitions may remind you of table view, and rightly so. They share many concepts. Now, let's explore the details of collection view implementation in code.
We're going to start by adding collection view object to our list view controller in the storyboard. So let's make sure that it's taking all available space on this view controller. Next, we're going to create an outlet for that. To be able to work with the collection view in our code, we need to assign our view controller as a collection view delegate and data source delegate. We can do that from the storyboard, or we can do that programmatically. Let's create a method that will help us configure our view controller. And we're going to call it in viewDidLoad method. Now Xcode is complaining. We need to conform to two protocols, collection view delegate and collection view data source. We could list them right after UI view controller and implement all the necessary methods in the body of our media list view controller class. But instead, we are going to implement confirmation to those protocols as extensions to our original media list view controller class. Extensions are a very good tool to literally extend class functionality without having to interfere with the original class definition. It's also a good tool to organize your code. So now Xcode is complaining that we haven't implemented all the required methods to conform to the UI collection view data source. Let's fix that. First, let's create a variable that will hold our data source data. Temporarily, we're going to return an empty array of media brief objects. And next, let's implement all the required methods for the data source delegate. The first method will return number of sections in our collection view, which is 1. The second method will return number of items within sections. Since we have only one section, we can simply return the number of elements in our data source array. And finally, the third method will return a cell to be used to display our elements. For the moment, we are simply returning a brand new UI collection view cell. This would not work if we had some data, but we don't have to worry about it for the moment because our data source returns an empty array. Now let's go back to the storyboard and notice that within a collection view, we have two items added, a collection view cell and collection view flow layout. As you may guess by its name, this element is responsible for the layout of our elements in the collection view. To access it programmatically, let's create an outlet for it. We can customize many properties within this element. For now, we are only going to set up the scroll direction. It will be vertical, and we'll add this code to configuration method. Other useful attributes of this object would be spacing between the elements and the sizing of each element. To configure those, we are going to add another extension to our view controller subclass. And here we are going to provide 3 methods that will help us configure vertical and horizontal spacing between items, as well as the size of each item. This covers the basics of collection view functionality. Before we run a quick test, let's add one more thing to our configuration method. Let's set the title of our navigation programmatically. And now we are ready for a quick preview. Not much going on here because our data source is empty and we don't have any cells. That is what we're going to correct next.